Howdy, folks. Welcome to episode 51. We went a little early. I think I need to make my intro a little longer. So, oh well. But tonight we are talking about Cold War Gone Hot and how we're going to play it. So we got Todd with us, the War Drobe. And so far we got Dave Hall saying good evening, and Paul Beckus. Hi guys. Hello, Mr. Beckus.
What's up, Paul?
So we've got we got tomorrow already taken care of with Paul. We got the OG in the house also.
Man,
hello, Devin. Thank you for joining.
Good crowd.
So yeah. So before we, get into the subject, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to talk Fistful of Lead. So nothing brand new coming out just yet, except we are on the countdown for Galactic Heroes 2nd Edition. Right now, it's going to have fixes in it. It's going to include the vehicle manual. It's going to include the Codex Galactica. The vehicle manual gives you the skimmers, the stompers, the movers, the shakers, all the different things that make it even cooler. And of course, it's going to have like I said, the Codex Galactica has all of those pre-statted characters. So if you're having a hard time coming up with your own stats for the characters, it's going to have it in there. If I remember correctly, this is going to be right around $20 for the soft back. John in the house. Hey-o. How you doing, sir?
What's up, man? Yeah, you should love Galactic Hero. Wow, I don't know too much space stuff. Hey, real quick, would you use Chuck's here? Look at all these people.
Yeah. We hail the gang's all here.
Could you use Galactic Heroes for Cold War, or would you probably just stick with like bigger battle, or just use the regular?
I would probably just stay with the core rules. Now, if I wanted to go like hyper modern,
we're talking
like almost like 2040, 2050, where we've got the exoskeleton, type guys with the drones and the this and the Hey 99 and all that. Yeah, I could see us go Galactic Heroes. But for Cold War, being that that's from about 1950 to 1991, just use core.
Regular, bigger battle.
But depend on what we're looking at fighting, and we'll go into that, obviously. And it's not going to be all Fistful of Lead gaming. There's other games out there that...
I was just asking since you were talking about them.
Yeah. But then also you got the exclusive hardback. $55. Right. It's going to be a nice, beautiful tome. It's called the Savior of the Universe edition. It's going to have Galactic Heroes 2nd Edition. It's going to have the vehicle manual. It's going to have the Codex Galactica. And it's going to include Starfighters. Plus cool. 6 free scenarios from the original Galactic Hero Kickstarter. You can bundle that for $85, and that's going to include the hardback, the PDF copy, the hardback will be autographed for you, and it's going to include both the Galactic Heroes and the Starfighter cards.
So the $85 version will include that?
Yes. Yeah. So it's $95.
Oh, $95. Sorry.
If you bought it separately, the book plus the 2 sets of cards.
Okay.
But $85. Actually, more than that, because you're also looking at $10 for the PDF. So you're looking at about $105 worth of stuff for only $85.
That's cool.
If you don't have the cards already, can't beat it. That's the way to go.
The cards are nice to have. You can make your own cards with regular cards, but it is nice to have the.
Yeah, but they're fun. I mean,
yeah,
just
well, they're neater than my Sharpie written on cards.
Right, but like I said, they are fun. Here, so like Galactic Heroes, the face cards. I mean, you got the 800-pound gorilla characters, for the clubs. Got space orcs,
the space army.
Yeah, the guys that are way far 40,000 years in the future. Those guys.
They're very dark and sad.
Yeah. Then you also have, whatever this guy is.
Okay.
What are the rest of those cards? I gotta. Come on. Anyway, the cards are fun. They're really fun. Oh, here we go. Of course, we got, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. They're fun. Anyway. So.
That's going on. When's that due out?
So, right now, the hardback is pre-order only. You cannot get the hardback if you do not order it now. And you have until January 31st. So we are.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're 19 days away from them shutting down. We're hoping, fingers crossed, that the hardbacks will get done and be made available at March to Victory.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Maybe.
That'd be tight.
No guarantees.
That'd be tight. Hey, has he done like a walkthrough of the book? I mean, does he have a copy of the book you can kind of walk through to get people enticed to order that thing on his channel?
Not really.
Like a proof.
I've got a sneak peek copy, and it's looking really good.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know if he was going to do a, like, hey, he's got a kind of a proof, and he can kind of go.
Yeah. No, I think he's going to wait. Well, actually, I might mention it to him that, to drive some business, he might want to put up a video like that, or have me put up a video like that.
Yeah.
Either or both.
Maybe he's got too many orders. He doesn't need any more. Maybe he's done. Maybe he doesn't want any more orders.
Maybe. Chuck says, salutations to two great individuals. Well, thank you, Chuck.
Oh.
I'm sure he's talking about John and Devin.
I was going to say Paul or Devin or John. Yeah.
Joanna says, hi, boys. Well, hello, Joanna. Thank you for joining us.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Now, remember that $55 or $85 or even the $20 that you're going to spend on the softback version all goes towards your total purchase that will earn you goodies. Remember, $200 gets you the coaster, $400 gets you the tape measure, $600 gets you the stack of coasters, $800 gets you the dice box, $1,000 gets you the hat, and $1,200 gets you the shirt. So, and Robin is keeping track of all that. All right, so administrative stuff out of the way. The advertisement is over. So let's go ahead and talk about Cold War. Now, like I said, Cold War is like from about 1951, 1950 with the start of the Korean War to about 1991 when we have the Berlin Wall come down and the Soviet Union becomes no more. Both Todd and I were born smack dab in the middle of that time. And I don't know about Todd growing up in St. Louis, but me growing up in San Antonio and Kansas City, I knew that if Commie Joe decided to let fly with the missiles, I had like 32 minutes of breath left. So why is it so much? Why does it drive my gaming desire so much? maybe because it's all that pent up anxiety to see what would have actually happened if we didn't have nuclear war, if we had a regular conventional war during that time frame. I guess a lot of that was also my dad being in the Texas National Guard at the time. Uh, all the way from the time I was born up till uh, the mid or the early '80s, at least, he was in the Texas Guard, and then from the late '80s to mid '90s, he was in the Missouri National Guard. So that could have had some play into it. I don't know, but there were lots of. I had more experience with the board games for the Cold War early on than I did with miniatures. I think one of the very first board games I ever purchased, besides the Star Trek one that everybody's heard me talk about, was old Team Yankee. I believe that was IDG that made it. Horrible game. I'm going to be perfectly honest. It was just garbage. But the scenarios were built based off of the chapters in the book. So that was kind of cool. Warmut says, Hola.
Come on.
If you're not eating tacos, chicken, or ice cream, you need to get your butt in here, buddy.
Amen.
So if it's not one of those three things, you need to be here.
Get over here.
Anyway.
So I grew up in near Wichita, Kansas, where we had
that's right. Yeah.
Where we had McConnell, where the B-1s were based. So yeah, we probably were a target too, I would imagine.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, not only that, but had a big and my brother's in the house. Konnichiwa.
What's up?
So.
Yeah, and so I was pretty riveted by that stuff too. I still was a World War II kid, but that stuff did kind of start to catch my attention. And I don't remember what the first thing was that kind of got me reading about it. I definitely read a book, and I found a picture of the cover, but it's called The Third World War by Sir General John Hackett.
Yeah,
and it was like a history book. Written kind of like that. It wasn't really written like a novel like Team Yankee or something.
Right.
And so it was like, this is how it happened. That freaked me out. And I cannot remember the book I read that just really went into detail about nuclear stuff, or like what it's like. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then the movie, oh crap, I know you watched it, ABC. And it took place in Kansas, actually.
Yeah, it's the day after.
The day after.
And no, I've never watched it.
What's that?
I've never watched it. I was.
Oh, you didn't?
My brother. Well, I know for a fact I wasn't. Jay might have also been told this. We weren't allowed to watch it, or I wasn't allowed to watch it because I was living in Kansas City. If I remember correctly, I was living in Kansas City.
Yeah,
and when it came out, and Mom didn't want me watching it and freaking out. It's like, too late, Mom, too late.
Yeah. It was, I don't know, if we went back now, I'd probably be like, oh boy. But back then it was like,
oh yeah.
Because they showed Kansas or whatever, Kansas City and, nuclear stuff. It wasn't like New York or.
Yeah, it was Kansas City. And the big reason why I knew Kansas City was, a big target wasn't for the actual military targets there, but more of the communication hub.
Yeah.
And also the crap ton of missile silos out in Kansas.
Right.
So, yeah, of course I did watch Team Yankee. Watch Team Yankee. I read Team Yankee.
And that was I didn't read much fiction. That's a fiction book and his couple other follow-ons that I read, and I just devoured that thing. I was in college when I read that, but
yeah,
I just love the way he wrote with the, I don't remember their characters' names, but here's not Jay's chapter, here's Todd's chapter, here's Paul's chapter, and then it would go back, and I'm sure that's been done a million times, but that's the first time I'd seen that. Anyway.
The two other books that really, really hooked me during that time frame were Hunt for October
I never read. I just saw the movie, but yeah.
So, honestly, the movie is. I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love.
It's pretty well done.
It is fairly faithful to the book, but the movie should have been titled "The Chase Scene from the Hunt."
Oh, that's funny.
So,
yeah, he went into a lot of details and stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, Paul, definitely. If you can, if you're an audio book guy, grab it, take it a listen.
They're fun reads. I think I don't know. Is Tom Clancy technical, or is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't think Team Yankees is technical. It's more about the people, but you get good details.
Yes, you do.
Good fighting things, and
yeah. The Team Yankee centers around. Yeah, it really centers around the characters, and I would say it's a near autobiographical.
Yeah, because he's what was he, a captain? He's cavalry, or I don't know. He was based in Fort Leavenworth. He was an instructor there, I think.
Right. So
Harold Coyle is who.
Harold Coyle, which is now Haley Coyle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't know either until it was,
wow,
pointed out to me. And hey, more power to her, right?
Yeah.
So, but when she was Harold, she was a major in the United States Army in armored in tanks, and she regaled us with several of her stories. One was they were out in a training. What's the word I'm looking for? A training function, an FTX, field training exercise, and they were sitting there in their tanks waiting, and this sergeant of some permutation, E3 up through E7 or E8, something like that, comes up and says, "Excuse me, Major, you're Harold Coyle, right?" And at the time he said, "Yeah." "You wrote Team Yankee, right?" "Yeah." He digs into his pocket, his cargo pocket in his BDUs, pulls out this tattered ass copy of Team Yankee and says, "Would you mind signing my copy? I don't go anywhere without it."
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've actually got a first edition hardback.
Oh, that's cool.
Of Team Yankee, signed by.
So how many did he write? 2 follow-ons, I think.
I don't remember. He's written several books. He has written several books, a lot of Civil War books, and
Civil War books are good too.
Yeah, and a lot of a lot of that time frame books. I don't know if they were actual follow-ons or just during the same time frame.
Gotcha. Yeah, so, I just remember sitting and I was working at my parents' travel agency. I must have been answering phones or something. I remember spending time during the day reading that. But yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm gonna have to check this one out.
The Third World War.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, again, I might go back and read and go. But Hackett was really a big tank guy for the government, and you read his name a lot as World War II approached, and he did a lot of study from World War I and stuff. So he really, he was a tank guy. I don't know. Anyway, it reads pretty interestingly. So,
yeah. Jay says the 10,000 is good.
That's another Coyle book. Yeah.
Yeah. And then another time, this was way, way, way back. This had to be mid 90s when he was telling this story to us. He, again, at the time, he was telling about it was his first time in the commander's cupola, and he was in an M60 A3, and he was firing the 50 cal in his cupola, and he was traversing the 50 cal, and he said, "What he was moving at the right speed, traversing at the right speed, and the cyclic rate of the 50 was just where, as he was traversing, he fired. While he was firing, he hit that big IR spotlight on the M60 A3. And he said, "Bullet missed. Bullet center punch straight through the bulb. Bullet missed the other side. No other damage than right where the cable came up from into the back where the bulb was."
Oh wow!
And he when he took it back, and the maintenance guy said, "What the hell happened?" "Don't know. Flicked it on and the bulb blew out." "I don't know." Because there was no other evidence that it had been shot.
Oh wow, that's pretty fun.
But Becca says Red Storm Rising was great. Yeah, I read / listen to Red Storm Rising about once a year.
Oh,
it is just it's a book that I wish they would do a treatment similar to what they did with Band of Brothers. I would love to get maybe. I don't think you could get away with just 10 episodes unless you cut a lot of it out. But I think you could get it away with maybe 14, 15 episodes. I would absolutely love to watch that. If they had done it, if they do it at the same caliber that they did with Band of Brothers, I think it would just be excellent TV. But that's just me.
What's its primary focus?
Actually, the primary focus is all, it is primarily ground, but there is a lot of air to air stuff, and there's a lot of the other. It's the two main things are the ground war in Germany,
okay,
and the ground / air / naval around Reykjavik, around Iceland.
Okay. So it's a full World War III?
It is full on World War III. No nukes get fired until maybe at the very end. No, that was in Team Yankee where they had nukes. Yeah, Red Storm Rising didn't have nukes. And again, Red Storm Rising is very character driven also, but it is also very technical. And I don't want to say very technical to the point where it's like reading radio instructions. It's technical. It's technical enough for the likes of you and me to really give us some tooth, but not, but probably a little more technical than someone reading it like Donna. She would probably wouldn't be. She'd be into it for the character side of things, but not so much that.
Just skim that.
So those are these are the things that fuel my desire to play in Cold War Gone Hot.
And of course, the very historical Stripes.
Oh, absolutely, Stripes. Yes.
Sorry.
The historical works of Stripes with the EM50 and the M48s. I mean, the T, whatever the hell it's supposed to be, and the Gamma Goat that the Czech Republic or the Czechoslovakian army uses. Hey, it's an American vehicle that looks. If I didn't know better, I would say it was Russian.
So Bacchus, the Harold Coyle books make good wargamer books because he even has like maps and diagrams of very small unit actions. It's not like whole armies he shows you like this tank was here, this tank, so you could easily do like a bigger battles.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or some small
Absolutely.
skirmish thing.
Yeah.
But you could also blow it up. I mean, that's why they made a board game on it, because there was just such good.
Yeah. So Team Yankee is good for platoon / company size combat, because, and actually it's not a company, it's a combat team, because it's 2 platoons of tanks and 1 platoon of mechanized infantry. And then
that's perfect. I mean,
that's Team Yankee. And then there was another team, and I can't remember which team it is, like Team Bravo or something like that. It was 2 mechanized infantry, 2 mechanized infantry platoons and the armor platoon. So it's 2 companies that get crossed over to make combat teams, and you follow Team Yankee throughout the war. And it's, it's at the beginning of each chapter, it's got a map showing, here's this position.
I just remember loving that, because you just didn't see that, where you had actual little battle maps. That's great.
Yeah. So that's what drives me. So, what do I do to game that era?
Yep.
Chuck says the Third World War, August 1985. Isn't that the one that you had thrown up?
Yeah. I just showed that cover, Chuck. You might have been off looking somewhere else, playing your turn in Ardennes or something. I guess you're doing that. Anyway.
Yeah, I've got to either get a copy of it or see if there's an Audible version of it. I'm sure an Audible version would be kind of bleh. Anyway.
I would read it.
In the Third World War, The Untold Story, both by General Sir John Hackett.
I didn't see that when I was looking for that cover. I noticed that book was out.
Yeah. So, the other thing that drives me, the original Red Dawn.
Yeah, that's right. That's another historical documentary that came out.
So Red Dawn, a little bit of trivia about Red Dawn.
Here we go.
First movie to ever receive PG-13 rating.
I think I remember hearing that, because the violence or cussing.
Yeah.
It's pretty violent.
It's spoiler alert. A lot of them bite it.
Wolverines. Yeah, that's so. My dad took me to see that.
Yeah,
I imagine he was sitting there going, "Oh, brother."
What did I just do?
I'm just going, "Whoa, man."
Yeah. So the best way for me to think about, gaming it is looking at these different influences that make me want to game it, and how I would game it. So we'll start with Red Dawn. And how I would play Red Dawn is either, of course, Fistful of Lead, because it's right there. I mean, you got the teenagers.
Red Dawn.
Yeah, Red Dawn.
Yeah.
Fistful of Lead. You got the teenagers. There's, you've got 2 crews right there, up against the Soviet horde.
Cuban.
What's that?
Cuban horde. They were Cubans.
Cubans supported by the Soviets.
It'd be fun to have them be Cubans. I always thought that was pretty funny. The Cubans invading America.
Yeah. So, that is, I would either use
I saw that
Fistful of Lead or Force on Force.
Yeah, you guys like that one.
To the point where Force on Force actually. So to tell you how much I like Force on Force, it is like right here also. Robbie and Sean and Robbie actually came out with a Cold War Gone Hot supplement, to the point where they actually in their.
Well, that's funny, Jay. I forgot about those. That's right. They were Nicaraguans.
Nicaragua. Nicaragua.
And then Paul does mention Battlefront are bringing out Red Dawn miniatures this year. I did see that.
Yep. Let's see here. Yeah, one of their scenarios under the title Cold War Fantasies.
What
is badgers?
Oh, how funny!
Yeah, so instead of Wolverines in Colorado, they're badgers in Madison, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, that's funny.
Yeah.
Are they from there? I'm just curious.
What's that?
Are they
No, they're actually from Oklahoma.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, and they've got the, they've got their
what
the scenarios have got the the forces already created for you.
School, the McDonald's.
I
think they had BMPs.
What's that?
They had BMPs. They had those parachute uniforms on.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool because everyone likes parachute, even if it's the Cubans and Nicaraguans jumping in. It's just something cool about them sitting there at school and you see all these things falling out of the sky. Like, what the? I mean, I always used to think, like, what would you think? You're in school and all of a sudden you're like, what the?
Exactly. So
they did it. I mean, again, I'm recalling it, and I probably haven't seen it since then. I recall it going like, this seemed relatively like not concentration camps, but re-education camps.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it was definitely hyper U.S., anti, but
it was definitely propaganda.
No propaganda going on there, but hey, whatever. I think I even knew it back then.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm being sold a bill of goods here, but that's cool. Yeah. This is awesome.
Jay's got the perfect line. Avenge me, boys, avenge me.
Okay, what was that? Was that his dad in the thing?
That was the dad in the re-education camp.
Yeah, there was a little bit of melodrama going on there, but that's cool.
Yeah. So, but I still love the movie. In fact, I will. Sometime in the next couple of weeks, I will probably sit down and watch it.
Get a little inspiration.
Yeah.
Will you get those Battlefront miniatures, or will you just print some?
I don't know. I'll have to look at them and see what the pricing is.
Well, you like to play it. Well, would you play Fistful in 15 or 28, or would you just continue to play it in 6?
Fistful of Lead, I like to do. I like to do in 28. I doubt I would do it 15. And the reason I want to do it in 28 is because you are looking at individual characters.
If you're doing Fistful of Lead, that's true.
Yeah. Now, Force on Force, I'll do in 15s.
Oh, really? What is the size? What's the size of the battles there?
So this particular the Badgers scenario is you've got the Soviet forces are 1 BMP, 2 rifle squads, and each squad is 2 riflemen, a grenadier, and a machine gunner. So, so you've got 2 squads with,
So it's basically platoon
2 rifle teams, and then a support team, which is 2 more riflemen, and 2 more gunners, one with a PKM and one with a RPG. Then, so that's your. So you basically have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you got 12 on the Soviet side, and then the Badgers, you've got 4 units of 6 guys. 6 guys.
Well, it's more skirmish level 2 then. I always thought it was bigger than that.
Well, you can get up to platoon level. Any bigger than platoon per side gets really.
Really? I thought I was at a game here locally that Tim put on that was huge. Force on Force.
You can. The problem with getting any bigger with Force on Force is their the reaction rules.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So if you're gonna go big with it, you have to limit. You have to limit your reactions, because I see, I'm not the active player, and I see someone running across. Oh, I'm gonna react to them. Well, he's got somebody that's got eyes on him, and he'll react to this one, and I've got this one over here, and he'll react to that one.
Oh, crap! It just keeps going.
It can. That's why you have to limit it.
Oh, geez.
As a house rule. And in fact, Sean and Robbie came out, later on and said, let's limit the number of reactions to 2, basically. You can react, and you can react to a react, and that's it. Because that was the one thing that most people disliked about Force on Force, is they couldn't come to grips with the reaction rules.
Yeah, I mean, that could get overwhelming.
It can. So,
interesting. Okay.
So, yeah, of course, like I said, Fistful of Lead or Force on Force for,
Red Dawn.
Squad level Red Dawn type stuff.
Okay.
You get up to Team Yankee, and I'm going to use either Fistful of Lead Bigger Battles.
Yep.
Or I'm going to use Team Yankee.
Oh, you like those rules? I've never.
Well, I mean, they're fire. Oh, damn it! What's the base World War II game?
Flames of War.
Flames of War. God, jeez. They're basically Flames of War rules that they've slapped modern stuff. Modern stuff onto it. There are some other changes. The one thing that I would do with both Bigger Battles or with Team Yankee, Flames of War Team Yankee, play it in 6mm.
Yeah, I know. It's it.
Because I've played Team Yankee in 6mm with, at the time, Harold Coyle, and I had a blast with it. And he himself said that that's the only way he'll play that game is in 6mm. So when the author of the book that the game is based on says, I'll only play the game in 6mm.
Yeah.
Because really, you think about it, most of the force construction for the Soviets are going to be battalion level, forces, and that's 31 tanks.
Yeah, I know. I think that's where I struggle, because I'm kind of committed to one of my struggles as we kind of get into this. I'm kind of committed to 15s, and it's a little tougher, so it makes me almost think I would probably be best to stick with smaller, because I've got on the screen and I'm sharing the game I would play if I play it.
Yeah. Harold Coyle is very much a gamer. I have played many a war game session.
Does he live in the Midwest anymore? I think he's East Coast now, isn't he? I thought.
I think she's moved to Virginia. Back to she.
Sorry, yeah.
She, when she was Harold, went to VMI, Virginia Military Institute.
Uh-huh.
Whatever VMI stands for. It's the Virginia. Hey, look, I got a Soviet bot. Look at me.
Yeah, it's gonna go
blocked.
We're gonna go clear that out.
Yeah, I think she started writing Civil War era novels.
Yeah, like I said, I read one or two of those, and I'm not a Civil War guy. And same style, right, back and forth to the people, but
yeah. So, but yeah, I have. I met her at Tabletop. and was, gaming regularly at tabletop, and had even brought my World War II naval game up there. And
that's cool.
She played it and was very, very impressed with it. So again, it's very much a child of the 90s, so but yeah. So Team Yankee is definitely either Fistful of Battle or Fistful of Lead Bigger Battles, or Team Yankee, both in 6 mil.
Yeah, gotcha. I would agree with that, I think.
Just because it's the same problem I have with company level World War II combat. When you're dealing, if it's just infantry and a couple of tanks, 15 mil is great. But when you're bringing on a Soviet
horde,
it
starts to get crazy.
Oh, hey. Hey, broski, the first test print is going on the Mars 2 Pro. Nice. What is it?
Yeah, what's your print? Yeah, so I bought some Team Yankee stuff. I don't know, how I get on these little kicks. I think 10 mil would be okay.
Yeah, 10 mil would be okay. Yeah, 10 mil would work out. It's just I'm already invested in 6 mil, like a lot, like to a company of M1s, a company of M60s, 3 battalions of T-72s and T-54s for the Czechs.
And GHQ stuff is just great.
Yeah, well, actually, most of my stuff is CNC.
CNC, yeah.
Which, good enough.
I'm kind of a fanboy for GHQ. I should probably look at
I am too, and luckily I was able to get the GHQ stuff when it was still, reasonably priced.
Yeah.
$10 for 5. So, a company of M1s was $15. All my Soviet stuff / Czech stuff is all CNC though.
Yeah.
Because when you're looking at, I've got 30 T-72s and I got 30 T-54s or T-55s.
That's crazy.
And then I've got a mechanized battalion of infantry.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm sure Pendragon will be coming out with more stuff, Paula, when they start releasing. I had a bunch of my last live stream too. Not Jack.
Whatever. Hey,
yeah.
It's I'm getting popular. That's all I can say. So yeah, with Pendragon buying out the Commander series of games, Blitzkrieg Commander, Cold War Commander, Future War Commander, and them redoing, not redoing them, but bringing them up to speed. I would see them bringing out a lot of other stuff. So let's go ahead and talk about Cold War Commander.
Let's do.
Cold War Commander was probably my first experience with Cold War gaming in miniature. The store in Austin, Great Hall Games, had a huge Cold War Commander following. And that's where I got this desire to do 6 mil.
That's cool.
If I were to do it over again, I would definitely have gone 3 mil the entire time, from the get-go. Yeah. That being said,
I bet McMurray would agree with you on that.
Yeah. That being said, 6 mil is great stuff. If I knew where my stuff, if I had my stuff handy. Oh, maybe do I have it up here?
So everybody, I kind of keep up with Pendragon stuff because I'm really into Blitzkrieg Commander. They're hoping to get it proofed and started to be printing, like I think in March. I think is their goal.
Oh, nice.
The last thing I saw, you know how things go, but
yeah.
And Not Jay and I both signed up to help proof. I hope Not Jay gets it, not me, because he knows that arrow better than me. But
so here, let me see if I can get some good light on this.
But yeah, it's and I know McMurray bought a Lulu version or whatever to kind of tide him over until it comes out, because I think he wants to play Vietnam, so he wants me to teach him Blitzkrieg. He should just bring over Cold War Commander. We should just play. In fact, I think I even own it as a little PDF. But
let's see if I can get some good light on this here. Ooh, hello.
You want to make your screen big so we can see
it.
You know what the cover looks like. Yeah, look at that. That's awesome. Isn't that a Panzer IV or is that a Tiger?
Yeah, no. This is.
I thought that's what was in the Battle of the Bulge. Sorry.
Yeah, this is one of my M60A3s, painted in Murdoch.
Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool, man. And that's CNC.
No, this one is
GHQ.
GHQ.
Yeah, you can just tell, man. Love that. I mean, look at that. It's so awesome.
And then here is one of my Abrams.
Yeah, maybe so. Tiger Shadow. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. There's a German tank I really like that looks really sleek looking like that.
That would be the Leopard 2.
Yeah, the Leopards, and then the Swedish or Israelis have a really cool tank where the gun's right in the middle of the hull.
That's the S tank. They call it the S tank.
The other Swedish vehicle I like, I think it's Swedish, is that jet they've got. From that era.
So of course, you got a crap ton of M113s.
Yeah, those are cool. With the little antenna off the back. Oh, now it's gone. That's cool.
Again, with the Murdoch paint job.
That's really good paint job.
Thank you. And then
yeah. So that's what the guy drove in Team Yankee. To me, Team Yankee focuses more on those that's Bradley, right?
Yeah, well, no, the 10,000 I think is.
Oh, that's right. You're right. You're right.
Team Yankee is the M1s.
It is M1s. Okay. Saab. Yes, Charles. This is the Saab. Yep.
The Vigan or
the Vigan. And I love that thing with that. Oh, and cool stuff.
Of course, you got the M901 Hammerhead tow launcher.
Dude, when you're doing your videos for World at War, you should show one of these things.
I'm going to get to
with the piece you're showing. Like you talked about those vehicles and say, here's what it looks like.
What I'm going to do is when I get to the cards that have the miniature conversion, that's what I'm going to show them.
Oh, okay. Anyway, it might be cool to show them with that because a lot of the board gamers aren't. Yeah, that's cool. And you've been getting good response on that, I think, right?
Yeah. So my first one has got over
200.
A crap ton of views on it. 160 views on it right now.
I thought you might be over 200. Hey, I'm sure everyone here is watching them, but if you haven't, Not Jay's doing a nice run through of World at War, some of the pieces and stuff. It's kind of nice. So, kind of talking about them and kind of what they represent.
Yeah.
Stats represent. Anyway, those are cool models. The only Cold War modeling I've done is I did that 15 mil stuff, and then I gave it to that guy that we gave some stuff to in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't bring myself to painting all the helicopters and stuff. I was like, ugh, I don't want to deal with it. But you have to. And that's what's funny about World War III. Even at a somewhat tactical level, you want to paint some of that stuff because they were a crucial part. Even if it's kind of ridiculous to have them on the board, it's still fun to have them kind of represented.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, like, I was thinking about making some artillery. I'm a big, I don't want 150 millimeters on my table. I don't mind having them on the table so you remember you have it. And I'd like to start doing that.
Right. So you don't want to have to paint up the helicopters like this?
I could probably get away with painting a 6 mil helicopter, but yeah, man, I always thought the Hind was one of my favorite things of the Cold War. I was like, dang, that's a helicopter, dude.
And then
the Russians did good on that design. Well, I mean, yeah, sure, you could take them down if you're an Afghani, but I always thought those were cool, but I really like the Hind.
You got the Cobra. And then you got this behemoth. This thing is just stupid huge.
I also like the C-130 a lot, by the way. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, those I always liked those two, actually. It might have been one of my favorite. Boy, I sure like the big, slow, ugly things in aircraft, man.
Yeah. So to give you an idea of how big this thing is, here's the infantry.
Yeah, they're big helicopters. Soviets had a couple of huge helicopters too, but yeah.
What's that?
The Soviets had a couple of huge. I thought they had a really big helicopter too, besides the Hind.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're playing Cold War, man, you got to have that stuff on the table.
Oh yeah, it's all about having the fun toys.
I mean, that's an interesting thing about playing like Vietnam games too, using those helicopters, coming in, dropping them off.
Oh yeah.
You know, you just don't get that in World War II. You can do a para scene, but that's usually anyway. It's kind of cool to airdrop Cav and all that stuff. Again, I'm trying to think if I've ever really played a Cold War game. Oh, I think I did Fistful of Toes with Adam here.
Yeah, Fistful of Toes is a fun game also. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it seems like a good set. It's kind of a little bit more, kind of showing its age a little bit, but it seems good. And Adam does a great job with it.
Oh yeah, well, Adam puts on a great game no matter what.
Yeah, but a little chart driven, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's a game of its time. You know.
Brian, Maybe Warmuth brings up the other Cold War documentary, Rambo. Yeah, that's another one.
Right.
I guess he's a Vietnam vet, isn't he?
Yeah. So, and then here are my. Now these are CNC. This here is a T-72.
I always like those tanks too. I like those big tanks on the back too.
With its ginormous 125 millimeter smooth bore.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then its older brother.
Paul says, "Did you see Battlefront are going to do a special order Hercules?"
Oh, for C-130?
Oh, that's cool.
That thing is going to be ginormous.
But you got it. Was this a Cold War thing? Was that big Gatling gun 105 on the side a Cold War thing, or is that more 91 and later?
No, it was.
They used that in Vietnam, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
That thing is. Imagine having that as a template in your Team Yankee game. Holy cow!
There is the T-55. Now, it's interesting. Bit of trivia. The Czechoslovakian army used T-55s, T-72s. They never used the T-64 because they thought it was an inferior vehicle. They thought it was an inferior vehicle because they built T-62s for export.
Well, that's funny. Yeah, we do. It's too bad Jeff can't be here with us tonight because he would be good on this conversation, since he was in Cav.
Yeah.
In Germany.
Yep. Yeah.
He was there in that front line while you and I are reading the books. He was there defending us, Jay, not Jay.
Exactly. So, but I am, as I have mentioned previously.
Yes, you have, but let's hear it again.
I'm going to be doing an entire division, 1-to-1 scale of the United States Army Armored Division, specifically the 49th.
That's pretty cool. You going to do a Soviet equivalent?
Well,
see how you do here.
No, I will be doing a Soviet equivalent. The thing is, a Soviet equivalent is probably going to be at least two. It's going to be one armored division and one mech infantry division.
Yikes. Are you going to do support vehicles and transport and everything? Or are you just there kind of fighting stuff?
I'm starting off with the fighting stuff.
Okay.
So obviously in the armored division, that's going to be the tanks for the armored units, the APCs for the mech infantry. Eventually, I will do headquarters stuff.
Okay.
Like the recovery vehicles and that type of thing. On the Soviet side, I'll be doing the same thing. Eventually, it will even include the air defense stuff also. So it's a long-term project, obviously.
Yeah. Do you have a particular game in mind, or are you just wanting to do that because it's fun?
I'm just wanting to do it. Let's see.
What's up, Crossing?
Becca says, I'm not doing one-to-one infantry, so it does not count.
Are you or not?
I need to remember how many little dudes comes in a bag.
50 in GHQ. It used to be.
Well, again, I'm looking at 3mm.
Oh, that's right. I forgot 3. Yeah.
So, but I mean, if you think about it, I could probably do one-to-one.
You could do that in
infantry. I'm not going to do one-to-one tank crews because they're in the tanks.
Dude. No way.
But I might do one-to-one infantry. Maybe. If I get really crazy. Crossing Obstacle Gaming here. Hey all, howdy sir.
What are you basing him on? How are you going to base infantry for that?
Like this.
And I'm sorry, is that 4 guys or?
It's 5 guys.
Is that a team nowadays?
Well, how I would do it would be I would do it as on a single washer. It would be the very least a fire team. I might just put an entire squad on there because if I remember correctly, the Americans had 2 fire teams per platoon. Yeah, because the United States Army had 2 fire teams per platoon. The United States Marine Corps has 3 fire teams per platoon. So for a single platoon in 1985, I would have 2 washers with 6 dudes each to a squad. Then I would have 3 of those to so 3 squads to a platoon, 3 platoons to a company, plus the weapons platoon for the company. So it would end up being I think 8 washers to a company with 6 guys with 6 little models on each one there.
Okay.
So I need to count numbers and see how many come in a bag for $4.75. It will probably be, if I were to fill it out, because I will start with some infantry, but if I was to fill it out to be full one-on-one, that would be like the last thing that I bring on is the full-on infantry.
All right.
Because there's a lot of other projects that I'm going to be working on along with this. Not necessarily in Cold War. So back to we need an abacus. That's right. Yeah, definitely need an abacus. So going back to what games I would use to play which scenarios or which books or movies or whatnot. Red Storm Rising is definitely they do scope down to individual tanks, but it's really Red Storm Rising is really more theater based.
Yeah, it sounds like it must be bigger.
So I would definitely be looking at either Fistful of Toes or Cold War Commander.
Yeah, because you can play that up to a battalion or more.
Because in Cold War Commander, each miniature represents a platoon, if I remember correctly.
That's correct. You can play it at squad level as well, but I think it's probably better. And all the stats are kind of statted as though they're platoons.
Right.
Like it doesn't get to the small mortars and the small.
So the other, speaking of platoon level, where a miniature is a platoon. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh,
pardon me.
Well, crumbs. This here? This one here? Yes, it's this one here. So, the crossover, of course, between miniature and board gaming is World at War 85.
World at War 85.
And the reason I say that is because we hit the big the final level of the Kickstarter.
Oh,
and
wait,
that
hold on.
was
Oh, wait, I don't think I knew that was going on.
no, this from the original Storming the Gap.
Oh, the original one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Storming the Gap.
Which was, if we hit that, they were going to come out with data cards for each of the different unit types.
Yes.
And what's nice about that is that here's the card here. It shows you what the counter looks like, both your full strength and your reduced strength, gives you your, what unit type it is, what special functions it has, and where to find the rule for that function. So, for instance, reactive armor is on 10.6.9, and it's got reactive armor because it's got the orange triangle. But if you want to know more about that, watch my videos. But what's really great about these cards is right here. If I want to play World at War 85 in 6mm, my AP range is 8 inches, my HE range is 4 inches, and my move is 4 inches. Boom. It even has a cost. So I can actually, and I'm not one for points. I would just create a scenario that feels right, something out of Team Yankee or something out of Cold War Gone Hot. But for those that, need a little help, a little assistance to balance things, they do have a points cost. So a platoon of M1 Abrams has a cost of 57 points. We can even play it in 28mm if we really wanted to. God knows why. And even 15mm. So this is the crossover. This is, I can play World War 85, Cold War Gone Hot with my miniatures. So be on the lookout for a live play of that. So it even has, the CAS cards. My understanding is they are going to be providing these with the they'll be providing these cards with the next version or the next volume that comes out also with the British stuff.
That's cool.
Beckus wants to know, was there a modern version of Spearpoint World War II? I think there was. None of the people that I played with down in Austin or in Kansas City ever played Spearpoint, even the World War II version, because they were all about Flames of War, and then Chain of Command. And yes, Paul, we know your proclivities towards Chain of Command. You don't like it, and that's okay. You don't have to. But what you do have to like is Fistful of Lead. And then this allows me to, curve on over to what board games are out there to play. And honestly, I'm sure there are a ton of different board games out there for Cold War.
And there's been a bunch coming out.
MBT, I think, isn't that GMT's game, MBT?
Yeah, it's out now, yeah.
And all of its different add-ons. That's just the one that comes off the top of my brain easiest. If you're talking about Cold War gone hot in the ocean, of course, there's a Harpoon. Jay says the game NATO.
Yeah, NATO is a big one, and some of that stuff's been redone. There's the Third World War, like the whole Front series.
Yeah.
There's also the Fleet series that people really like. Devin's been playing that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Second Fleet, Third Fleet, Fifth Fleet. Yep. I remember those.
And those are way easier than Harpoon.
Oh God, yes.
There's Iron. Oh my gosh, there's an SCS game. The one that McMurray and I and Jeff play. SCS game called Iron something. I'm getting it wrong, but you can play. It actually is kind of cool. You play 3 or 4 eras of the Cold. So you play like in 51, 52, something like right after World War II. Then you play kind of the maybe 60s, then the 80s, and then maybe one other era. But it's kind of cool. You can kind of play that same area. And yeah, there's a bunch of them that come out. There's a game that's similar to the one that you have, a Montelamar, that is also full. I think it's called Full to Gap.
Yeah.
Plus he's made a couple others. Yeah, there's been a huge burst. I don't know if the Red Line or something like that. It's a fairly new one come out. There's been a flurry of them out lately.
Yeah. Jay says NATO, the game, says from Victory Force Games, has my favorite rules mechanism ever. If either player chooses to use nukes, the rule is you have to soak the board in lighter fluid and put a match to it.
That's hilarious.
Yep. And Paul says that he'd be interested in buying the cards on their own.
I don't know if you can do that.
I don't think you can. It would be nice if you could. That'd be cool.
That's interesting. I don't know why they couldn't do that, because they sell the rules. I mean, I'm sorry, they sell the rules, but you can also download them for free.
Right.
So if you bought
I could see them doing. I could see them running the cards.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't. You could do that and then just buy them, and even maybe buy them from a company that makes cards.
Yeah. So, the thing is, though, they're an odd size.
Yeah, I remember that. Nice and big, but
yeah.
They're not like
here's a regular
playing card
size. So.
Yeah, I wonder why they chose to do that.
As big. Well, to
get the information, not make
get all the information in big enough font that it can be read by old eyes.
If there's any out there.
Let's see here. And they even made here's the size of the counter for the game.
Yeah.
Here is, so they even made the counters on the cards bigger, bigger, so you can read them. And what I like to do is I like to actually, even though I'm playing on the hex board, go ahead and pull pull these cards out so I have them right there to look at.
Well, it's got their special functions too, like you said. So.
Right, exactly. My brother says they're legal sized cards.
Pension or help cards. That's what I call.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that's definitely different than in that starting Cold War and moving up, especially ultra modern, but is different than World War II, is that you start to get into a lot of electronic systems, defense mechanisms, reactive armor. So it can get a little bit more complicated. Like Cold War commanders probably got more stuff. Like if you compare White Star Rising to World at War, there's just a lot of more little details that can, for some people, make it more complicated, maybe fiddly, to play that era. But it's kind of cool because, especially in '85, they were starting to develop that stuff. So it's not perfected. I think it's still
right. So, but it's I don't know much in the way of board games for this era. I know World at War. I've got an original version 1 World at War, America Conquered, and then I've got World at War 85 here. My plan is to, within the next 2 weeks, actually get to the point in my video series that I'm actually doing some, showing the mechanisms and doing small little scenarios of, okay, so this tank platoon is firing on that tank platoon, and this is how that works. Going through a turn to show how that works, and then ultimately doing a actual game. Playing the game.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll probably do. I might do the first scenario as a live play.
Oh yeah, it's a small one, right?
Yeah, so single mapper to show people how it works, and then because they are targeting the end of February as to when the Kickstarter is going to jump off. I'm hoping to have Devin and Keith Tracton and David Heath on the show with me to talk about it, in even more depth.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So, again, it's my second. It's my second love in gaming. Of course, we know that my first love is World War II naval. And then Star Wars. Star Wars doesn't count as 1 or 2 because, as far as gaming goes, because it is all encompassing of my life.
Right.
Star Wars is not just gaming for me. I honestly could wear a different Star Wars t-shirt for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
So, and the OG comes in with a thumbs up. Yes, thank you, sir. Yeah, we had talked, and on Facebook, Keith said that he would like to come on. So we are going to make that happen, boys and girls.
That'd be great.
So,
not that they'll need help hitting their number, but
no, not at all.
Never hurts.
Yeah, and it seems like I'm not saying I started the trend, but I was at the head of the trend because somebody else has decided to talk about World War 85 on their blog out there.
No, that's cool.
So World War 85 is getting some love just at the perfect time. So, so if you want to know more about the game and you're tired of me yapping it up, there are some other fine folks out there that are doing the good work too. if it's something you are interested in, there is a Facebook group, World at War, Lock and Load Publishing World at War 85. Just go request to join, and Keith or David will let you in. So, are you putting stuff away, or are you setting stuff out?
I got to setting up for scenario 3 of Chain of Command and the Jimbo Gap campaign with McMurray's coming over Friday evening, supposedly.
Yeah.
Play another turn.
Because he has miraculously been freed up.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So,
unfortunately.
Yeah, for those that are not aware, my wife contracted COVID. She's okay. We're not dealing with hospitalization or anything. She's got a bad sinus headache, cough. It's luckily she's been vaccinated. So it's just a really, 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 really bad flu at this point. But because of that, we had to cancel the game weekend, unfortunately.
Boo.
So, yeah, that sucks. My brother and I are going to run a What a Tanker game on Saturday.
Online. I mean,
online.
live.
Yeah, I'll be in my basement running everybody's tanks.
Well, that's cool.
So up until now, when we've run that game, we've only run M4s and M10s for the Americans, and Panzer IIIs, Panzer IVs, and Stugs for the Germans.
Okay.
Well, it just so happens that I got one of these guys now.
Oh, nice.
Jagdpanther.
Jagdpanther.
And a couple of Pershings.
Nice.
So they are going to make an appearance this weekend. So I'm thinking 2 p.m., 3 p.m.-ish, Saturday afternoon. So
got all the players you need. You got that all lined up, and
I've got 2 so far.
Cool.
Maybe. So if that's something anybody is interested in, I think I'm going to, if it's okay with everybody else that's going to be playing, I might live stream that game also.
Oh, I was going to ask. Okay.
Yeah. So if you don't want to play, if you don't want to be a part of it, that's okay. But you just want to watch, I'm going to go ahead and live stream it. And you can always, of course, once the stream is over, you can always go back and watch that as well.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, once I'm done with World War 85, I think I'm going to go back to the World War II ships.
Oh, okay, doing videos on those.
Yeah, people seem to like those also. I know that Mr. Beckus has been appreciative of my World War 85 videos with my ability to take the difficult concepts and break it down to easy little chunks.
Yeah, it seems it's a good thing you're doing there.
So anyway, well, I think we're an hour and 18 in. I didn't think this one was going to have a lot of legs to it anyway, because it was just you and me.
Yep.
And that's fine. So I hope everybody that did come in to the show liked it.
Got their money's worth. I hope you got your money's worth.
Yeah, well, it's great at twice the price, right?
Easily.
So some other things that we're looking into, my brother and I have decided we're going to concentrate on doing some gaming together in a cyberpunk world.
Oh, cool.
So, and that we're initially focusing on doing Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, cool.
But the great thing about that is all of the terrain that I'm going to be printing can also be used for Blade Runner type stuff,
Oh, yeah.
and also Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So there you have it. As always, guys, thank y'all for dropping in and spending an hour and a half with us. It's greatly appreciated.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Paul says, good chat today. Thanks. You're very welcome, Paul. I appreciate everybody coming in from literally around the world. We've got people. I'm surprised Robbie didn't pop in from Japan, but he'll watch it later. He'll watch it later. He always does. I know we got Australia in here. I think I've been seeing some statistics of Colombia, the Philippines, maybe not here live, but from other viewing, England,
Of course.
Canada, Sweden.
Sweden.
So some really really good stuff. Like my brother said when he started looking at some of his downloads, he's huge in Uzbekistan. He had like 4 or 5 downloads out of Uzbekistan.
Oh, that's funny.
So, but thanks once again, guys. And next week, if Jeff is feeling better,
Come on, Jeff.
we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to be hyper focused on one action. Well, not one action. One period of time, late 1944 in the Ardennes. We're going to be talking about how we're going to game the bulge. So come back and see that. Hopefully you'll be available also, Todd.
I hope so.
Maybe we'll be lucky enough that McMurray can join us, and definitely Jeff. If Jeff is ill still, we'll find something else because we're not gonna dive into Game of the Bulge until Jeff's ready to go. So,
Agreed.
So we're gonna go ahead and call it a night, boys and girls. Thank you, one and all.
Thanks.
Y'all have a great evening, and be on the lookout for the next video Friday morning. Well, Friday morning my time. So take care, and we'll see you on the flip side.
See y'all.